Hi, Dave. I was wondering if you had settled on a start date for Tony Gonsolin.
Yeah, Tony's going to start tomorrow, Dave, and then followed by Julio.
How does the weather play into all of this for this series? Are you concerned about the weather interrupting any of these starts, or how do you look at it?
It's one of those things that it seems like every time we come into Pittsburgh, there's always a chance of rain. So most of our guys are used to it. We just got to read and react. Early batting practice just got canceled. Hoping we can still get in the regular BP, but I just don't. It shouldn't affect us though.
Is there any concern about a start and stop for Buehler tonight, Dave?
As the weather forecast, as I've seen it currently, it doesn't look as though there will be a stoppage. And they're in the same position. They don't want to get their starter to start and stop either.
Dave, the numbers show that Buehler's fastball is still really good and hitters are still not hitting it at a high clip, but it's not as elite as what it was a year ago. Is there a difference in it from your eyes? What do you think about it?
I think from my eyes, I think the only thing I see is where maybe when it's the mechanics are right, the throws right, the commands right, there's swing and miss or some fly balls where when it's not completely right, then balls might go out of the ballpark more with the fastball, more good contact. Walker is very in tune with his body and the delivery. So he's just constantly working on it. But I think that the average velocity, I think, is pretty similar. So now it's just, for me, it's just the command of it, which kind of lends itself to delivery.
For your offense, you got Muncy back tonight. Do you believe that there's going to be more consistency from your lineup since you're starting to get big pieces back?
I think as we look out, yes. But I'm going to give Muncy's going to play today. He'll be down tomorrow, just so we don't have to play him 3 days in a row and just make sure that ankle is right. We'll get Albert back at first base. And again, I don't want Muncy at second base tomorrow, coming off that ankle injury. So we'll get him down tomorrow and he'll be playing on Thursday back at first base. So I think after that, you'll see some semblance of consistency. But yeah, it's your question.
Do you feel like that is a factor in the offensive inconsistency this year, that you've had so many guys in and out of the lineup?
Obviously, when you get some of your best players that aren't in there, there's a regression, but I just don't like to use that, as an excuse.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Next question from Mark Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, how is Max? Like, is he limited in any way? What sort of he dealing with?
It's a little on the stop when he's running, and maybe a little bit on the lateral, but the training staff, Max, have assured me that he's good to go to play first base tonight.
And with Seager, when we spoke to him Saturday, he had a scan, and his weekly scan, he said, hopefully that went well. Is there any update on him? Is he able to pick up a bat anytime soon, take two-handed swings?
I think in the next couple of days, he'll be able to take some swings off the tee and do some things like that. The scan, as I understand it, there's more healing with the bone, with the fracture. So that's a good thing. And Corey's been working really hard with the medical staff. So, but I'll get back to you as far as when he's able to take two-handed swings.
When he starts taking two-handed swings, how quickly will that progression be from, the tee to BP to live BP to a game?
Yeah, I think that with when you start taking the two-handed swings, given the fact that he's already done a lot of rotation stuff, the core stuff, the one-handed swings, it's a pretty quick ramp up. And I'm sure he's going to be standing in on bullpens to kind of get the gauging of velocity and spinning of the baseball. Once he gets started with that, a couple weeks, it should happen.
Is this quicker than you expected? Is this more encouraging than maybe you thought it'd be?
It's right now, and I don't want to put a timeline on it, but it is quicker than I would have expected. And you've got a young body that certainly heals pretty quickly, and you've got an eager player, so that kind of lends itself to that.
Well, with Gonsolin coming back tomorrow, obviously, him in itself, him starting first, season debut and all that's obviously progression for you guys. But having a 5-man rotation, just like given Julio's workload, he's almost already pitched as many innings as he's ever had in a regular season. Walker's, do you think that will have an effect on maybe you allowing you to maybe limit their workload in a way by using the bullpen a little more aggressively on other
I think that's fair. Having Tony's innings is certainly, having that fifth starter, whoever it might be, is certainly crucial. I think we managed pretty well with those four bullpen games. But having the ability to distribute bullpen usage a little bit more to potentially cut back on usage from a couple guys, I think is only a good thing.
Are you comfortable with Walker and Julio's workload so far?
At this point, I am. I think that you've got to balance the long term, the history, what we expect from guys individually, with winning a baseball game and how things are going and managing usage in the bullpen. I think up to this point, we've done a great job.
Thank you, Dave.
Next question from Pearson Watson. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Hope you're well. Just coming off of the Braves series, is there anything that you want to see in specific from your team against the Pirates?
I think for overall, I think we got to continue to pitch well. I think offensively, just collectively having better bats and not giving away bats. I think that I see it in spurts, but these are two pitchers and a lot of guys in the pen that we haven't seen a whole lot of. So I think that just the ability to run counts, gather information within an at bat is going to be very important for us in this series and the next couple series.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question from Juan Video. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, just kind of going back to Donson. Is he your set number 5 starter, or like could you see him being like a bold guy for in front of an opener or something like that?
No, he's built up to 75 pitches. So as of now, he's our 5th starter.
And Clevenger had a rehab outing yesterday at Oklahoma City. What's kind of his progression looking like?
We'll see with Garrett. It was a good outing. The stuff was good. It was quick when he got a double play. So I think there was only 11 pitches. So he'll make a couple outings and we'll evaluate then.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question from Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, want to complete my ankle checklist. What's the status with Austin Barnes?
So I haven't talked to Austin today. I'll get a report here shortly from the training staff. My hope is that he plays one of these next 2 games. But if he needs an extra day to then catch that Thursday day game, we'll do that. But my expectation is he'll play one of the next 2.
And you kind of touched on this, but looking back over the 5 weeks since Dustin May's injury, were you able to, absorb the bullpen games better or worse than you expected?
Much better. The guys in the pen, namely David Price and Jimmy Nelson, really stepped up. I think that those guys being able to take down some innings, and also we had a chance to learn about some other guys, some guys that are here with us, some guys that are not. So to have that, I think it was 4 of those bullpen games, I think that we weathered it, got through it as good as we could have hoped.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep. Last one's from Rowan Calvin. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, you just talked about Jimmy. What have you kind of seen from him? Look, he struck out, I think, 32 of the 80 batters he's faced. Are you getting, more about what you would have wanted from him coming into the year?
We're getting what we expected. The stuff is elite. He's just really has the ability to spin the baseball. The curveball is real. The slider is real, and it's 94, 95. So just encouraging him to fill up the strike zone, and he just has a really good way of getting swing and miss. So he's just been very additive for our ball club.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.